Yo, I know who y'all rocking with. I'm that dark skin one. This is Back Outside Vibes. Talk to me, I talk back. You know the vibes. What's going on, y'all? First, I would like to take time out to apologize. Took a 2-day break. Handle some personal things. Okay, let me get my Fiji. Yeah. I don't like water all the time. Water's great for you, but sometimes it just tastes like water. So my fault for the shaking. Yeah, it took some time to handle some personal business. But we back on track. We back with a new one. This one is actually, we're gonna get to it. It's a request. This is a request video from one of my supporters. He dropped a comment on me. Let me get his name real fast so I could present it how it's supposed to be presented. And it's I believe it's not a prison story, but it's how could you put it? Something he wanted to know about prison and what's the do's and don'ts. One of those situations, what you should do. Hold on. Okay, we here. Okay, we get into it. Okay. The homie Move Tech. He said, tune in. We here. Can we get a vid on how to move in jail if you don't want to join a gang? Definitely. For my viewers, always feel free to request videos like that because those are very much needed. Sometimes when we storytell, we get in the mode, we get in the storytelling hat, I believe. What you want to say, the storytelling groove, and we don't kind of think out the box. So me, you see, I try to deal with other things and think out the box. But how to move in jail if you don't want to join a gang is definitely something that I wish I would have put out first before somebody asked me, because that is one of the that is a video that I would have loved to put out, first. So we're gonna get right in. How to move in prison if you don't want to join a gang. First, let me tell you that the people that's not in a gang in jail, and this is real-ish. All right. The feds in state prison is different. Never been up north, so I can't tell y'all about up north, but Rikers Island. Let's talk about Rikers Island and the feds. It's totally different. When you're in the feds, you got cars, meaning you have groups divided into their demographic. So if you're from New York, you're gonna have a New York car. If you're from DMV, Delaware, DC, Baltimore, Virginia, they got their DMV car. You understand? Down south boys, they got their down south car. Midwest, Cali, certain gangs, you got the gang car. So in the feds, it's not like a gang, but when you're in the feds, you definitely got to join a car so you can be protected. Rolling by yourself in the feds is a no-no. I'm not even going to sit here and act like, yeah, you could be this tough person that run. You could be, you don't even got to be tough. I can't even sit here and act like you could be a neutral person just rolling by yourself. Now, if you're an old timer who put in a lot of work on the streets and you got a name, then let me see. Then I could see it happening as far as being in the feds and just sticking to you. If people have respect for that name that you built, then, people won't try to press you for nothing or none of that. So you'll be cool. But now, if you're just somebody who's normal, messed up on the street, caught a charge, and now you got to do some time, you definitely got to get in one of them cars, because this is what happened in the feds. Let's say you don't want to join no gang, you don't want to join no car, you want to just be you, you want to do you. You tough enough to fight by yourself, cool. You have people who say, hey, I respect that. Do you, such homie can fight, he can protect his own, he can hold his own. Leave him alone, let him chill. But then you got some people who's not gonna respect it. It could be a different race, it could be a different, they could be from a different car. They don't gotta be our color that say, hey, we respect that. They could be like, yo, who we think he is? And it could be like, yo, he not rolling with his people, something wrong. Let's see what's up with him. They'll try to tax you, extort you, all type of shit. Now, in the state, this is what I would say, like in Rikers Island and all that. Not being a part of a gang is one of the best decisions you could make. I had to grow up before I had to look at life and say, this was my life with a gang, and this is what I would have wanted. The peace that come with not being in a gang is what I wanted. Like, once I got older and I had my son and I got locked back up, I wasn't for the gang politics. I wasn't for the bullshit. I'm not. And plus, once you get older, you start to realize what a fucking gang is. And, like, I was watching a video, and the gangs now is losing the structure that they once had. So, let's say the Bloods. Let's take the Bloods. Very, very powerful organization in New York, right? In prison, this is all operated through protocol, through a hierarchy, meaning you got foot soldiers, you got generals, you got enforcers, you got so on and so forth, right? But it's always somebody at the top that got to send a word, and y'all got to respect that. Now what's happening is a lot of the young dudes, they are making these little gangs, like the block gangs that's happening now. Little Harlem gangs, this and that. And they are having more loyalty to those block gangs than anything. So now you'll go in and say, hey, I'm Crip, but let's say if we Southside, right? What's DOA, the shit that K Flock and them is from? It's Crips and Bloods tied into one. But when you get on the island, the Bloods gonna tell you, yo, look, we don't fuck with the Crips over here, or we don't. But then these little niggas is stepping up like, yo, nah, we not trying to hear that. And to lose the influence over the younger heads, because the younger heads is the soldiers. That's the foot soldiers that's gonna put in the work and shit like that. To use that and that's what gives you your numbers, the younger soldiers. To lose that influence over them and have them saying, hey, you know what? We got our own block clique. We came in here from the street fucking with these motherfuckers, so it is what it is. It becomes one big headache, and you start to realize, like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Once you get older and you start realizing Yo, your gang don't care if you got a day left. If a motherfucker wants you to put some work in and expect you to, if somebody wants you, if one of your OGs wants you to put some work in, they're gonna expect you to put that work in. They don't give a fuck if you got one day left. They're gonna want you to put that work in, and if you don't, they might blast on you. There's so many people walking around with blasts and cuts, and that shit didn't come from the opposition. Dumb shits came from their own peoples. How many people? How many bloods that you hear? And this is something that I had to It's something I listen to. I used to listen to prison stories too, right? And and one thing I noticed, I said, yo, shit. It seems like every big homie who had the spotlight, they wound up falling from grace and getting fired on, and getting the button pushed on them. I'm like, how? Every big homie who ran shit, except for a few, they wound up having that gang or their people switch on them, and them getting done the same way that they push buttons to have somebody else done like that. They wound up getting the same treatment. And that's when I learned that, yo, everything you put out there, that shit gonna come right back to you. So the question of what do, you live the same way you live on the street. Fuck them gangs, stay the fuck away from them. You don't gotta join no gang, you don't gotta join no gang to survive. If motherfuckers play with you, press you, or try to extort you anyway, put your hands up. Put your hands up, have a little fight. If they want to jump you, take a jump. That shit happen on the street. You get jumped on the street. You could lose a fight on the street. You could win a fight on the street. Put your hands up like a man. Throw them shits. If somebody want to try to cut you, get you a little knife. You know, don't be no sucker. It's just like you living on the streets. It's just they got numbers. The gang got numbers, and it might seem like it's an advantage, but it's really not. It's really not. It's really not, because once you show motherfuckers who you are and that you ain't for the shits, they gonna treat you like, yo, all right, son, gonna hold it down. Yeah, you might get a few motherfuckers that's gonna be on your heels, but that comes with being a man, you know? And that comes with us putting ourselves in a place like prison. It comes with consequences. We could have been free, enjoying our family, staying away from all of that shit. But we choose to do certain things that'll leave us behind bars. So, how do you move? You move, stay to yourself, you mind your business. I promise you, when I was in jail, right? And I was gangbanging. I used to look at certain neutral dudes, and I used to admire the peace that they had. Like, yo, look at this nigga. He ain't got to worry about shit. He chilling. They ain't the most talked about or the flyest or whatever. Nah, but they get to do their time at peace, instead of you gotta be around a bunch of motherfuckers. Niggas want you to cut this person, cut that person, or niggas want to cut you, or y'all can't go to the yard because y'all crip, or you can't do this because you blood. That shit is a big ass headache. That shit is corny. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. That shit is corny. Now, where I'm at in life, where I'm at in my mental, that shit is corny. All that shit is corny. Who the fuck made that shit up? And it's sucker shit. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Now, back in the days when it was the Latinos oppressing black people and just violating them, I respected the Bloods for standing up for it. But what they turned into, I cannot. That's, you know, yeah, I respect what that first generation did, and that was protect black people against the Spanish and all that. But now everything else after that, even when it came to the Crip shit, and even with the Crip shit that's going on right now, bro, I don't have no respect for none of that shit. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. That is something that is in the past. That is something that is not cool. I done lost so many great years of my life. I done lost so much time where I could have been something. I could have been way more things than a fucking gangbanger. I could have been talking on YouTube about anything else than being a gangbanger and being in prison. You feel me? Shit is corny, you know. And if you find somebody that's gonna tell you different, you gotta look at them like, yo, you like it? It's cool. You a corny ass nigga. Because I don't believe there's a man in prison right now that's doing life, except for somebody who avenged the death of a loved one. I don't believe it's somebody that's in jail right now doing life that didn't wish they wasn't doing life right now. And if you somebody who's a gang leader and you kept on having to come to jail because of your gang, that's the biggest regret. All right. People put on acts. People put on masks. Your mask come on when you socialize with other people, when you come out your cell and you get to kick it and you be a big homie, yeah, cool copy. But we all lay down by ourselves. And you can have a wife, you could whatever. When you lay down and you in your head and you the only person that can hear them thoughts, you know how much regret is filled in the heads of prisoners who's doing life or threw their fucking life away for a game? So my thing is, man, be smart, stay away from them gangs, put up your hands and fight when it's time to fight. If you scared, if you somebody who don't want to get jumped, or you tell them, you say, hey, I will fight any one of y'all one-on-one, just don't jump me and don't stab me. I'm not a stabber, I'm not none of that. We can fight. You can fight. I'll take 100 ass whoopings. Don't stab me. You understand? Speak up. Simple as that. And, that's the video for today. That's the video for right now. I'm gonna shoot another one in a minute. I'm gonna give y'all 3 today because I took a little 2 day. Just something to talk about too, man. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Don't take life for granted. I don't care how hard you might think you got it. It's always somebody that got it a little harder. If you're not messed up on drugs, if you're not handicapped or if you're living and you're free, you might be down bad on money or whatever. It could be anything. You could always make money. Money is always out. You just think. Dig deep in your mental and think. You can make a couple dollars. But enjoy life. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Stay the fuck off of drugs and enjoy life. Please, for me. Yeah, we gonna close with that. Y'all know who y'all rocking with. I'm that dark skin one. This is Back Outside Vibes. Talk to me, talk back. Y'all know what's up.